Hey guys, Dane and ZIMM'S Guitars. It's come that time. I'm going to start cleaning my 1982 BC Rich Bich. Let's clean this baby up. Okay, so I'm going to clean this thing up. Now I haven't really decided on if I'm going to have it repainted or not, but I definitely got to clean it even if I do have it painted. But let's just test the electronics, see if it makes noise. Wouldn't surprise me at all if it was totally dead. Wow, it's doing a lot. A lot of things going on here, but it seems good. It's making noise. But let's just start with getting these old strings off of here. I'm just going to clean it. It's got the string lock here behind the nut. A lot of times guys don't even reinstall these, or a lot of times I don't. If you don't plan on using the whammy bar, you don't really need this piece, but that seems to be functioning properly. It's not missing anything. This is crazy. There's an acoustic string on here that's even wound around here backwards. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut these babies off and get these out of here. All 6 of the tuners seem to be functioning, which is good. Down here on the Kaler, the strings just pop right out of here when you cut them. They just come right on out. So it kind of makes for an easy string change compared to, let's say, a Floyd Rose. I'm going to just spray a little bit of Windex on here. It's got a lot of something on it right there. Oh, those are little chips that have sort of been filled in. I think I'm going to pull the tuners off so that I can get in here real good and clean these babies real good. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull the tuners off. They're already super loose already. Hopefully none of these are broken. They do have the R branded BC Rich tuners on there. But as you guys might have seen in my last video, is that I'm wondering if I should have this thing painted, because I have a buddy of mine that paints guitars, and he's already done probably, you know, a half a dozen BC Riches that I've had, but they're all just, you know, like Bronze Series or Platinum Series. I know it's all beat up, but this is probably the most expensive BC Rich that I've had. So there's always that argument, if you take something and paint it a different color or refinish it, you're going to hurt the value by refinishing this guitar. And so that's where I'm kind of asking your guys' advice, if I should go ahead and refinish this thing, or if I should just try to keep it original. And you know, sometimes keeping it original is just not that much fun. I got a guy that does great paint jobs, and it'll turn this thing into a real eye popper. But I just don't know if it's going to kill the value of the guitar It's so beat up right now. I don't know how it would really kill the value, but I'm going to sit here and shine this baby up and see if I can kind of, you know, recondition it myself. And again, in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Should we refinish the guitar, or should we just try to make it as clean as possible? Guys are going to say, don't use Windex. But man, we need something to get the first layer of dirt off this thing. This guitar, oh, that was nice. That cleaned up off of there. But this guitar is so dirty. It does have a small crack right here that runs from the screw hole down to the face. Not sure if I can do anything to that. I might just have to live with that one. So again, you guys are going to be like, don't use Windex. But it's just to get the top layer of dirt. Now I see that the strap button has been moved. It used to be right there. And they moved it over just about a ½ an inch. It looks like the old screw is still in there, broken off in there. Not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I guess the next thing I'm going to do is probably lift that Kaler up out of there. Yeah, so let's lift that Kaler out of there. These screws are all rusty. Maybe I can clean these screws up somehow. Or maybe I should replace them with something. They used to be black. Maybe I can just clean them and put a little black spray paint over them. So this should just lift right out of there, and it does. There it is. It's the Kaler. Made in USA right there on it. Not a USA guitar though, but they were shipping the parts over there, I guess. So I got a little glue gun, and I can tell this was a sticker right here. So just gonna put a little bit of glue gun on there. Wow, this is a dirty guitar. She's dirty. I don't think I've ever seen a guitar this dirty. DiMarzio pickups. Okay, so right here it does say DiMarzio. So I think these are the stock pickups. I'm pretty sure these are made in USA DiMarzio Super Distortions. So it's all original parts. Alright guys, so again, I am using Windex to get the top layer of dirt off of here. Guys are going to say don't use Windex. I think it's because there's a certain amount of Windex probably has water in it. Where's the ingredients? Probably has water in it. That's why the average guy would be like, dude, don't use Windex. Some guys in the comments might even be like, dude, leave it dirty. What are you cleaning it for? The pickups are looking good. They kind of cleaned up kind of cool. Oh, hey, here's something that I just noticed on these pickups. The bridge pickup has adjustable pull pieces on the north and south side. The neck pickup has slugs and adjustable pieces on the north side. So, two different kind of pickups. The Super Distortion, and leave it in the comments what you think the neck pickup is. Okay, it might be a mistake, but I'm going to see if I can lift this pickup out of here so we can kind of see underneath it, and it'll give me a chance to clean around the side here. Now the reason that this might be a mistake is these old rusty screws that are holding this down, they might strip out on me. But it seems like I'm okay here. Now if I decide to paint this guitar, I got to take all this apart again, but let's see what is under here. Look at that, guys. DiMarzio, made in USA. So that is the Super Distortion. How cool is that? Straight out of the 80s. I don't know why I love everything 1980s, but I really honestly do, man. The 80s was the shit. It looks like it's been routed out nicely. There hasn't been any sign of anybody in here making modifications, trying to do anything weird. Looks pretty good. It's just all rusty looking and everything. Looks like somebody threw this guitar in the river. Or somebody played this guitar in the Florida wetlands or something. So sometimes with a little rusty screw like this, I got a little piece of sandpaper right here. Sometimes you can just kind of sand it down a little bit, and that'll get the top layer of some of that dirt off of there. So it looks a little bit better. Okay, so here's the pickups that are in this guitar, the DiMarzio DP103. And this just one says DP10. It has a little mark down there that maybe is an A or maybe it's a 4. And you're in the shadow, so we can't really see that, but maybe that says DP104. So anyhow, guys, those are the current pickups that are in this guitar. I'm pretty sure that's factory. But what I noticed here is that this one is mounted in like this. This one was mounted in like this. So the DiMarzio name is kind of right here. So it almost looks like this one should have been mounted in there this direction, but that's not how the pickup ring is. So that's how they did it in the factory. They had it right there like that. So that's how I'm going to redo it and put it back together. This stuff is dirty. Here's the wire, the ground wire, that lays underneath the Kaler. Lays right in there. But yeah, this is tough cleaning this. There is a lot of dirt going on. Thought this was going to be a super fun project, and so far it is. But I'm telling you, this thing is dirty. Now, these electronics, I'm pretty sure these were first invented and put together by a man named Neil Moser. Neil Moser worked on these on those old Made in America ones that were made right there in California. Neil Moser did all the electronic work in them. Now, this being the first year of being built in Japan, Neil didn't have anything to do with this one, but this was all his idea. All these little switches and the little preamp that's in here, the out of phase switching, all that kind of stuff. This is all Neil Moser's idea. But when you get in here and you look at all this underneath here, it's 100% positive that none of this has ever been, repainted or, refinished. There has been no refin on this. And so the question again is, do you keep this thing original? Or do you have my buddy Rob that paints guitars for me? Should we get him to paint this thing all fun and fancy? It's a Good question. Don't know what to do right now. I'm thinking that just cleaning it up is going to make a big difference, but then you've got, you know, giant areas in the guitar here that has great big chips in it, and you know, it's in rough shape. I'm leaving it up to you guys though. If you think I should refinish it, I definitely will, because I love the idea of taking an old guitar and making it all nice and fun, and badass looking and glittery looking and everything. I love that. But at the same time, if it's going to totally kill the value, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not sure I'm up for that. So this guitar does have the dot inlays. The older American-made ones had the big puffy cloud inlays. Those things are super cool looking. It's too bad these didn't have that, but this is what it is. It's the NJ series. They're still really desirable guitars. Just taking a little bit of 1000 grit sandpaper that I have folded up, and I'm just getting the top layer of rust and corrosion off these frets. And overall, these frets are looking really good. You would think that a guitar with this much age, the frets would be played more. But for some reason, I don't think this guitar got played very much. I think it probably ended up in the hands of a kid that maybe didn't play it very much, and he just kind of, you know, got it all dirty and everything. This guitar did come out of California. I got it from a friend of mine that lives out there. And so it probably lived most of its life without being in a case. I never got a case with it. So it lived without a case and didn't get played very much. So even though it's beat up, the fretboard and the frets are in fairly good condition. So if somebody says, does it need a refret? Unless you want big jumbo or medium jumbo frets on it, I'm going to say it does not need a refret. So that's a bonus, right? Alright, so this is kind of a fun step just to kind of get some more of the top layer of dirt off of it. I don't have a professional buffing wheel, but I do have this thing that I stick in my drill, and I've got a little bit of polishing compound, turtle wax, and I'm just going to put a little bit on here, and we're just going to kind of see what happens. If you're going to paint a guitar, it's probably not a good idea to wax it, but right now I'm kind of thinking that I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. Should I paint this thing? Should I just clean it up? Buff it? I haven't decided what to do with this thing yet. Okay, so I took the truss rod cover off, and I imagine this is probably one of the first things I should have done, but let's see if the truss rod works. Now it takes the same little wrench that fits on a Gibson, and there we go, we tightened it up. It's got a lot of room to tighten, so yeah, it seems fine. Okay guys, I'm gonna throw strings on it. Ernie Ball 9 gauge. These babies they're so packed, airtight in here. Good strings. I love them. Alright, here we go. Let's string it up.